Hello students, happy morning. In today's class we are going to learn about trigonometric equations. We are learning chapter trigonometric functions. So in today's class we are going to learn about trigonometric equations. So far we have learned all the trigonometric identities and we have solved problems based on it. Now we are going to see what is trigonometric equations. What is meant by trigonometric equation? An equation involving trigonometric functions of a variable is called trigonometric equation. We know what is meant by an equation, right? So equation of surety will involve variable. So if that variable's trigonometric function is there in that equation, then we will call it as trigonometric equation. For example, sin x plus cos x equals to 5 is a trigonometric equation. It involves the trigonometric function of that variable, right? So those equations are called trigonometric equations. We know every equation can be solved and their solution can be found. So likewise in this topic we are going to learn how we can solve a trigonometric equation and find a solution of that variable, right? So before we get into, let us recall this. We have learnt already. So when the values of the trigonometric functions will repeat, so for cosine and sine function the values will repeat after an interval of 2 pi, and for tangent function the value will repeat after an interval of pi. Hope you remember this. After an interval of 2 pi, every 2 pi interval the values of sine and cosine will repeat. Every interval of pi the values of tangent function will repeat, right? And now we are going to deal with two types of solutions. We call it as principal solution and the other one is general solution. What is meant by principal solution? The value of x which lies in between 0 and 2 pi, we will call it as principal solution. And what we call it as general solution? The solution which involves the integer n, we will call it as general solution. Let us see in detail why we call this as principal solution and this as general solution. Now let us see one example. How the graph of the sine function will be sin x graph. The graph of the sin x is going to be like this, right? The the graph of the sin x function is like this, and we know this is pi and this is 2 pi, and after every interval of 2 pi again the value repeats, right? Now this is your x axis and this is your y axis. So for some x value we have some y value, right? And for the same y value it corresponds to different x, right? The same y value corresponds to different x. So for a particular y value we have two x values, and we know this will repeat after 2 pi. This will repeat after 2 pi. There is slight difference in my drawing, but it will have the same values only, right? So after 2 pi again it is going to repeat. So what does this imply? This implies a sine function will have infinitely many solutions, right? The sine equation will have infinitely many solutions. It will go on. After every 2 pi it is going to repeat. So it goes on. It has infinitely many solutions. So that's why we are restricting the solution of x between 0 to 2 pi as principal solution, and the remaining solutions we will call it as a general solution. So general solution we will write in terms of n, because anyhow it is going to repeat. We will generalize it by expressing the solution in terms of n, and we will call it as a general solution. Hope you understood. Principal solution is the value of x between 0 to 2 pi. And one more thing here you have to note, how many principal solution a trigonometric function can have. Of sure a trigonometric function can have two principal solutions. How many principal solutions? It will have two principal solutions. PS is principal solution. Every trigonometric function will have two principal solutions. Why two principal solutions? Because for every y value we will have two x values between 0 to 2 pi. Alright, every trigonometric function will have infinitely many solutions since it repeats after a particular interval. It repeats after a particular interval. So we restrict our range as 0 to 2 pi and we will call it the solution as principal solution and the remaining solution, the generalized form, as general solution. Right. So what is the solution? Solution is the value of x. The value of x, the value of the unknown variable in the equation is called the solution of that particular equation. Right. Now let us see few examples how we can find the principal. Before we solve an example, I wish to make it clear why it has infinitely many solution. I told you after interval of 2 pi it repeats, right? So if you take the same y value, if you take the same two y values, you will have different x values after 2 pi, right? Again, after 4 pi, what it is going to happen? The graph is going to repeat. The graph is going to repeat in the same way. If it repeats again for the same two y values, you will be having different x values. That's why the solution of the trigonometric equation, in the sense the value of x going to vary. We will be having infinitely many solutions for the trigonometric function. So we are going to generalize, but the pattern is not going to change. So we will be generalizing it in terms of n. That is called a general solution and we are restricted till 2 pi and it is called a principal solution, right? Now let us see an example how to find the principal solution. Now take this example, find the principal solution of the equation sin x equal to root 3 by 2. We know when the sine value will become root 3 by 2 in the angle pi by 3, which means 60 degree. As I told you, trigonometric equation will have two principal solutions. Now we need to find the other solution of x. How we can find out? It is clearly seen the value is positive. So this is first, second, third and the fourth quadrant, and find out in which two quadrants sine value will become positive. All silver. So in the first and the second quadrant only sine function will remain positive. And we found the angle as pi by 3 now. So when pi by 3 is the second quadrant, how we can write? It can be written as pi minus pi by 3. Why it is pi? Because it is in the second quadrant. So this can be written as sine of pi minus pi by 3, which is going to be sine pi by 3 only, because we know that sine of 180 minus theta is sine theta. Alright. So sine pi by 3 can also be written as sine pi minus pi by 3. Now let us find out what is sine pi minus pi by 3. If you take LCM, this will become 3 pi minus pi, which is equal to sine 2 pi by 3. Alright. Thus we found the principal solution of x. What are all the principal solution of the equation? Sin x. Therefore the principal solutions are pi by 3 and 2 pi by 3. Hope you understood this. Yes, what we did here, first we found the actual solution of x, then as I told you it will be having two principal solutions. So we found in which angle it will be positive, because the answer is given in positive, and we expressed that angle in terms of pi and we found what it is, because we know the value is going to remain changed with 180 minus theta. Right. Let us solve one more example so that you will get better clarity. Now see this, tan x equal to minus 1 by root 3. When the x value, when the tan function is 1 by root 3, we know it is in pi by 6, right? Pi by 6 means 30 degree. So we know that tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. It's not minus 1 by root 3. We know it is 1 by root 3. Now we need it to be in negative. So which are all the quadrants tan is negative? First find out that. All silver T cups. So all in T it will be positive. Therefore in the second and the fourth quadrant only tan will be negative. Tan will be negative. Now we found the angle as pi by 6. So how you can write pi by 6 in the second quadrant? Pi minus pi by 6. And in the fourth quadrant how you will write? 2 pi minus pi by 6. Right? because this is full angle is 2 pi and it lies in the fourth quadrant, so it can be written as 2 pi minus pi by 6. So that's it, we found the answer. How we can do this? So tan pi minus pi by 6 is also tan pi by 6 minus tan pi by 6, which is nothing but minus 1 by root 3, and tan 2 pi minus pi by 6 is also minus tan pi by 6, which is also minus 1 by root 3. Because we know tan pi minus theta is minus tan theta and tan 2 pi minus theta is minus tan theta according to our conditions. Hope you understood now. Now our aim is to find what is this. So tan of pi minus pi by 6, which is equal to, take LCM, 6 is going to be your LCM, so 6 pi minus pi, which is nothing but tan 5 pi by 6, and tan 2 pi minus pi by 6, take LCM again, tan 6 is your LCM, 6 2s are 12 pi minus pi, which is tan 11 pi by 6. Therefore, the principal solutions are 5 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6. X equal to 5 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6. Hope you understood. So what is the procedure to find the principal solution? Of sure they will give some standard angle only. First find to which angle it corresponds to. After that you find two quadrant in which it is going to be the given value. If it is either it should be positive or negative according to the question. Choose two angles and express that standard angle in terms of pi and 2 pi. Simplify it and find the answer that will give you the principal solution. Hope you got a clear idea now. Now let us see how we can find the general solution. Before we get into solving general solution, we have three theorems, which means the generalized solutions of sine, cos and tan. Now let us see what are those three theorems. So before getting into the theorems, let us recall. When the sine and the cos function will become 0, this also we have learnt already. The sine function will become 0 in the integral multiple of pi, and cos function will become 0 in the odd integral multiple of pi by 2. Hope you remember. Now the results which we are going to obtain is very easy. For any real number x and y, sin x equal to sin y implies x equal to n pi plus minus 1 whole power n into y, where n belongs to z. Now let us see how we can obtain this solution when sin x equal to sin y. When sin x equal to sin y, then bring the sin y to the other side. So it will become sin x minus sin y equal to 0. Immediately we know, apply the formula, s minus s is 2cs. So 2 cos x plus y by 2 sin x minus y by 2 equal to 0. So when the product of two terms will become 0, when this should be 0 or this should be 0. Either of the terms should be equal to 0. So equate cos x plus y by 2 equal to 0 or sin x minus y by 2 equal to 0. Therefore, when this cos value will become 0, just now we recalled in the 2 and odd integral multiple of pi by 2. So the angle x plus y by 2 should be equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Hope you understood. Cos x equal to 0 means x should be equal to odd integral multiple of pi by 2. Your cos x plus y by 2 equal to 0, which implies x plus y by 2 should be the odd integral multiple of pi by 2. Similarly, when the sine function will become 0 when x is the integral multiple of pi. So here x minus y by 2 is your angle, so therefore it should be the integral multiple of pi, right? Now from this find what is your x. So this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So x is equal to 2n plus 1 pi. Bring this plus y to the other side, it will become minus y. Or from here, bring this 2 to the other side, so it will become 2n pi. If you bring this minus y to the other side, it will become plus y. So we got two solutions for x. One says 2n plus 1 into pi minus y, the other says 2n pi plus y. Now we need to generalize this, right? So this can be written as, we know 2n plus 1 is odd number. So we know negative minus when we will get, only it has a odd power. So it can be written as minus 1 power 2n plus 1. So obviously this will become minus, right? Here we know the even will give positive, so this is written as minus 1 power 2n. Anyhow, if you put n as an even number, it is going to become positive only. Now we are going to combine these two and we are going to give a general solution. See, if we have 2n plus 1, the power is 2n plus 1. If we have 2n here, the power is 2n. So in general, we can write it as x equal to n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into y. If n is going to be odd, this will become negative. If n is going to be even, this is going to become positive, right? That's how we arrived at the general solution of the equation sin x equal to sin y. So what you should remember now, when sin x equal to sin y, then what is the value of x? X is nothing but n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into y. This is the general solution you should remember, right? The same way we have derived for cos x equal to cos y. Similarly, if you solve the equation, we can arrive at a general solution which is x is equal to 2n pi plus or minus y when cos x equal to cos y. This solution also you should remember. Similarly, when tan x equal to tan y, we will get x is equal to n pi plus y, n pi plus y, where n is an integer. These three solutions you have to remember to find the general solution of the problems. See here, sin x equal to sin y implies x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into y, where n is an integer. Cos x equal to cos y implies x equal to 2n pi plus or minus y, where n belongs to integer. Tan x equal to tan y implies x equal to n pi plus y, where n belongs to z. Remember, only for cos function it is plus or minus. For sin and tan it is just plus. And if you see the solution of x for sin and tan, it's almost the same. Only for sin you will get negative. For tan, all values it is going to be positive only. So for sin it is n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into y. If n is going to be odd, the sign will become minus. But for tan, in spite of the n value, even if it is going to be odd or even, it is going to be plus only. Remember, this how you can remember. Sin and tan almost same except for this minus 1 power n. Whereas for cos it is 2n pi plus or minus y. You have to remember all these three general solutions. Now using this, let us tell you how you can solve the problems and how you can find the principal and the general solution of the trigonometric equation. Yes? Now let us see the first question in exercise 3.4. They asked you to find both principal and general solution. We know how to find the principal solution. When the tan value will become root 3 in 60 degree, right? Tan 60 is root 3. So we know that a tan pi by 3 is 60, which is equal to root 3. Alright, now it is in positive. So which quadrants tan will be positive? First, second and third, fourth quadrant, all silver tea cups. So in the first and the third quadrant, tan will be positive, right? So in the first quadrant we can write directly the angle, and in the third quadrant how you can write? How you can write the angle? It can be written as pi plus pi by 3, right? It can be written as pi plus pi by 3, or else it can be written as, yes, in the third quadrant it can be written as pi plus pi by 3. Kindly remember one more thing. You always express the angle in terms of pi and 2 pi only. Don't involve pi by 2, because if you involve pi by 2, we know that the sine function, the function will change to its opposite. For example, sin pi by 2 minus theta will become cos. The trigonometric function itself will change. But in terms of pi and 2 pi, the trigonometric function won't change. It will remain as such, right? So always use pi. When it comes to second quadrant, you write pi minus theta. When it comes to third quadrant, you write pi plus theta. When it comes to fourth quadrant, you write 2 pi minus theta. Hope you understood, right? So this you write the angle as such. When it comes to here, you can write pi minus theta. Here it is theta, and this you can write it as pi minus theta, and here you can write it as pi plus theta, and here you can write it as 2 pi minus theta, right? Now tan pi by 3 and the other angle is pi plus pi by 3. So tan pi plus pi by 3 is going to be tan pi by 3 only. So which is nothing but tan, take LCM. So 3 pi plus pi, which is equal to tan 4 pi by 3. Therefore, the principal solution of the equation are, principal solutions are pi by 3 and 4 pi by 3. Pi by 3 and 4 pi by 3. We found the principal solution, but they asked you to find the general solution as well. So how we can find out now? It is given tan x equal to root 3, but we know root 3 is nothing but tan pi by 3, right? Now we got a format. What it is? Tan x equal to tan pi by 3. Always to find the general solution, try to express the given equation in the form of sin x equal to sin y, cos x equal to cos y, or tan x equal to tan y, because then only we can generalize our solution. Now it is in the form of tan x equal to tan y. So what is the solution for tan x equal to tan y? General solution. What is the general solution? X is n pi plus y, where n belongs to z. So x equal to n pi plus y. What is your y? Y is pi by 3, where n belongs to z. So this is the general solution of the equation tan x equal to root 3. This is a problem where we got directly. In few problems we won't get the format directly, so that we have to simplify it, resolve it, bring it to this format, and then only you have to apply the general solution. Okay, we will be solving problems of that kind also. Hope you understood. So x is equal to n pi plus pi by 3. How we got this? From the theorem 3, right? Now we will see how we can solve the fourth problem, cosec x equal to minus 2. Cosecant x is the reciprocal of what? Sin x. So when the sin value will become 1 by 2, we are looking after the reciprocal. If you are unable to analyze it or find out directly, you can write it in the rough column. Cosec x is nothing but 1 by sin x, right? So this 1 by 2 will become 1 by 2. So when the sine function is 1 by 2, you have to check out. When the sine function is 1 by 2, in the angle 30 degree, which means pi by 6. So then only it will become 2 in cosec. Hope you understood. So we can write, we know that cosec pi by 6 is equals to 2. Cosec of pi by 6 equals to 2. Now our aim is to get a negative value. So this is first, second, third and the fourth quadrant, and this is all silver tea cups. So when it becomes negative, we are bothered about sine function, because the same way its reciprocal also will behave. So when it becomes negative in the third and the fourth quadrant, right? So in the third quadrant, how we can write it as? It can be written as pi plus theta, I told in the previous problem. So this can be written as pi plus pi by 6, and in the fourth quadrant it can be written as 2 pi minus pi by 6. So your angles are cosec pi plus pi by 6, which is equal to minus 2, and cosec 2 pi minus pi by 6, which is also equal to minus 2, because both are going to be minus cosec pi by 6. So you can write here, which is equal to minus cosec pi by 6, hence it is equal to minus 2. Similarly, here it is minus cosec pi by 6, which is nothing but minus 2. So which implies, find what are those two angles. Cosec pi plus pi by 6, which is equal to cosec, take LCM, so 6 pi plus pi, which is nothing but cosec 7 pi by 6, and the other one is cosec 2 pi minus pi by 6, which is equal to cosec, take LCM, 6 2s are 12 pi minus pi, which is equal to cosec 11 pi by 6. Cosec 7 pi by 6 and cosec 11 pi by 6. Therefore, the principal solutions are 7 pi by 6 and 11 pi by 6. Now we need to find the general solution. For the general solution, what we will do, it is given that now cosec x is equal to minus 2. This is what given in the question, right? Now this minus 2 can be written as what? Either 7 pi by 6 or 11 pi by 6. Use any one solution. So I can write it as, which is nothing but cosec 7 pi by 6, right? Now which is nothing but sin x, or else you can write one more step. Cosec x is nothing but 1 by sin x, and this is 1 by sin 7 pi by 6. So this implies sin x equal to sin 7 pi by 6. Now this is of the format sin x equal to sin y, right? So if sin x equal to sin y, then what is the value of y? Sorry, x equal to n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n y, where n belongs to z. Therefore, x equal to n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into, what is your y now? 7 pi by 6, where n belongs to z is your general solution. Therefore, the general solution is, what is your general solution? X equal to n pi plus minus 1 the whole power n into 7 pi by 6, where n belongs to z is your general solution. Hope you understood now how to solve. It's very easy only. So first find the two principal values, and then to find the general solution, express the given equation in the form of sin x equal to sin y, or cos x equal to cos y, or tan x equal to tan y by using any one of the principal solution. Then use the general solution. In the place of y, you have to just substitute. That's it, right? So with this, let us wind up today's class. Let us see the another method, another set of trigonometric equations which can be solved to find the general solution in the next class. So today's homework is going to be question number 2 and 3 in exercise 3.4, and also I have given few additional questions which is not there in your textbook. You have to find the principal solution and general solution, PS and GS, of the following. I have given you 4 questions. So do it and post it in the group without fail, and if you have any doubts, contact me. Thank you, students.